Well, it's 7 weeks since Alex Salmond died. He was in Macedonia and died of a heart attack. The memorial service was held. In fact, it's just finished at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. We'll talk to Mike Graham in a minute, who was there, a presenter in this station, obviously. Alex Salmond was someone who appeared on Talk very frequently. In fact, he presented some programmes on Talk from time to time. He's also someone who was debated with people like Mike Graham many times on all sorts of issues. I'd interviewed him on numerous occasions. He'd be in the office and on air from time to time, and someone who really was a friend of this station, gave us analysis, and even if he disagreed with you robustly on many occasions, he was an absolute gent in my experience. Michael Blackley is political editor of the Scottish Daily Mail. Michael, really Scotland's great and good, and indeed beyond, at that service today to pay tribute to Alex Salmond. Just give us a flavour of what went on.
Yes, I mean, the service at St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, this was an event happening on St Andrew's Day, quite appropriately. It was a celebration of Alex Salmond's life, many of the things that were important to him. There was plenty Scottish arts and culture and music at the event, and it was attended really by people from across the political spectrum, notably Gordon Brown, the former Prime Minister, made it along. The leaders of most of the Scottish parties were there as well. So I think it maybe spoke to a bit of Alex Salmond's life, because as you say, in his discussions that he had with yourselves as broadcasters, with others, he was somebody that did manage to make friends across the political divide. He didn't only speak to people that were nationalists. He was friends with, I mean, one of the examples is that David Davis was there, the Conservative MP, and Alex Salmond really did manage to make friends across the political divide when he was in politics.
I think David Davis actually gave a reading as part of that, so they were genuine friends, certainly. Nicola Sturgeon not in attendance, of course. She was his protege for a long time. They were very close politically, and then it all went horribly wrong for them. There were many allegations, of which Alex Salmond was found not guilty in regard to sexual impropriety. Still, that relationship, even in death, apparently still toxic, or certainly to the extent that she perhaps wouldn't have been welcome. I mean, how would you analyse her lack of attendance, Michael?
Yes, I mean, it's certainly significant that she wasn't there, because this is somebody that she was the protege of Alex Salmond. She was somebody who was extremely close. They were close friends. Alex Salmond was very much an inspiration for her in politics, but in more recent years, the relationship completely fell apart. Nicola Sturgeon didn't attend today. It's understood that she took the view that she wanted to remember Alex Salmond privately rather than appearing in public at either this or any of the other events around his death. Nicola Sturgeon was at the funeral of a Scots comedian, Janie Godley, today. That's a comedian who rose to prominence during the coronavirus pandemic when she did a sort of parody voiceover of Nicola Sturgeon's daily media briefings. And it's perhaps pretty telling that Nicola Sturgeon was attending that instead of Alex Salmond's memorial event. There were some signs of the fact that the independence campaign has splintered at today's event, because when the First Minister and SNP leader John Swinney was entering St Giles Cathedral, there was a bit of booing. There was reference to him being a traitor, according to reports from some in the nationalist crowd. So I think there were some signs there that there is a bit of splintering that's happened in recent years in the independence campaign. And one of the other, as far as I could see, I don't think the only party that didn't have a party leader there appeared to be the Scottish Greens. I could be wrong with that, but as far as I could see, there wasn't representation from the Scottish Greens other than the presiding officer, Alison
Well, Michael, thank you for that. That's Michael Blackley, he's political editor of the Scottish Daily Mail. And just on the phone we have, we have him in vision, Mike Graham, our very own presenter there. We can hear the bagpipes in the background. Mike, you're just out of this memorial service. Was it a fitting tribute to such a giant of Scottish politics, of British politics?
It really was, yeah. I mean, it was absolutely everything that he would have liked. I mean, Kenny McCaskill was possibly, I mean, there were many high points. Kenny McCaskill made a very rousing speech promising that, this was not the end of independence. It was the dream that Alex Salmond had, and they would continue to fight. He got rapturous applause. And even the SNP MPs, led by Stephen Flynn, who was sitting at the back with me, even they were cheering, because, there's no love lost between the SNP now and Alex Salmond, of course, but Nicola Sturgeon wasn't here, but there were other SNP MPs here. Gordon Brown was here. There was a song by the Proclaimers. As Kenny McCaskill said, Alex Salmond was probably known as one of the best parliamentarians that ever came from Scotland. And he said he would probably have actually disputed that and said, what do you mean one of? So it was very heartfelt. It was very funny in the same way that Alex Salmond always was. David Davis made a little reading as well. It was just lovely. I'm just really glad I came, because when I got invited, I was thinking, God, a trip all the way to Edinburgh. I had dinner with a friend last night. I'm coming back this afternoon. And I'm just really glad I came, because it was very touching. It was his niece made a beautiful speech about Uncle Alec and what he was like as a family man. It was just really pleasant. As you can see behind me, there's quite a few soul tires flying and quite a few sort of what you might call hardline independence maniacs, who, of course, I don't get on with. But it's been a lovely occasion.
Well, how will you remember him, Mike? Has today helped you? Because he was your mate, wasn't he?
He really was. And I have to say, I've got to thank you, actually, Peter, because when I reconnected with Alex Salmond, it was after I met him in our Ealing studios, because you had got him in for an interview, I think, and I hadn't seen him for a few years. And so that was when we kind of rekindled our friendship. And I used to get him on Plank of the Week. He's a very funny man, a great intellectual, loved politics. I mean, he could sort of dance with anybody, if you like, and he really did love what he did. And he was a fantastic orator, a great thinker, a man who could just have fun with people. He used to call me his favourite fascist. And I'm like, it's probably a bit harsh, but I'll take it. And, he was just a really funny guy to be around, and I did a couple of those live shows in the Eyes Have It Edinburgh Festival with John Burko as the speaker in the chair. David Davis was there one night. Mick Lynch was there. Andrew Marr we competed with. He just loved the toing and froing of political discourse,
And he was known, of course, as first and foremost as a politician. But you talked about his niece there. You talked about other people perhaps giving a different flavour of the man behind the scene.
Did we lose you?
Are you still there, Mike?
Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, sorry, just lost you for a second.
No worries. No, I was just wondering, obviously we knew him first and foremost as a politician, but there are many other strings to his bow, there are many other aspects to his character, and that really appears anyway to have come out of the service today, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, what I didn't know about him was apparently he was quite a good singer. Apparently he was a tenor, and he was a massive football fan as well. He loved Heart of Midlow Hearts was his team, and he was born, of course, in Linlithgow, which you'll forgive me for saying this because they did say it in the service. When you're born within the bells of St Michael's Church in Linlithgow, the standard bearer of Linlithgow, where Mary Queen of Scots was born, is a black Labrador. So when you are actually born in Linlithgow, you're allowed to call yourself a black bitch.
Wow. Okay. Well, that is in context, so take that off, Colm.
It is. I've said it. Yeah, I've said it before on my show because it is absolutely in context. And there was a pub with that name as well. I only say it once, I won't say it again. But just a fantastic history to his life and a fantastic, just a great credit to him today. A lot of people that were at the service today were not people that agreed with him politically.
Yeah.
I saw Tommy Sheridan, the former sort of firebrand socialist, who I used to be quite good friends with as well. And just, there's something very magical about Edinburgh on these kinds of occasions.
It really does rise to the occasion. Mike, thank you. Safe home, and we'll see you on Monday for Morning Glory between 6 and 10 here on Talk. Really appreciate that, Mike. Mike Graham, presenter here at Talk, of course.